Coming of Age is coming up next. I'm your host, Josh Newby. Today, we're talking about summertime in Florida. It's hot, but that doesn't mean a new adventure isn't just around the corner. Whether it's a new museum installation, a new craft beer, a great band playing the golden oldies, or even the ambition to attain a new fitness goal, we've got you covered. But first, the president and CEO of Baptist Healthcare joins us for some really exciting news. Stay tuned. Coming of Age starts right now. As we age, staying active in life and involved in the community can become a challenge. But with Council on Aging of West Florida's range of home-based services, you remain healthy, independent, and engaged. From Meals on Wheels and respite care to senior dining sites and the retreat, you'll feel empowered to regain your freedom while retaining what makes you, you. We've been in the community for nearly 50 years, advocating for elders and supporting those who care for our parents and grandparents. We were there when your father's health began declining, when your mother needed companionship during the day. And guess what? We'll be there down the road when you need those services too. Now, join with us as we talk together about the aging issues that matter to you. On June 26, Baptist Healthcare announced plans to build a new hospital on the southwest corner of the intersection of Brent Lane and I-110. The project is part of a bold move to transform care for the people of Northwest Florida and South Alabama by expanding access to healthcare services and combining new approaches and technologies to diagnose and treat illnesses and injuries. Today, Mark Faulkner, who is president and CEO of Baptist Healthcare, is with us to tell us more about how Baptist is transforming for the future. Mark, thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
So tell us, how is Baptist transforming for the future?
Well, we have a history of innovation and transformation, going back to our founding fathers who had a bold vision of improving healthcare in our community, and that bold vision carries us through today. And so even most recently, as we have been involved in advancing technology, new clinical protocols, as well as facilities. The Andrews Institute is a good example of that. Just over 10 years ago, the affiliation with the Mayo Clinic Care Network has brought numerous innovations to our community, as well as new facilities like Airport Medical Park and others. So I would say that this new announcement is just another chapter in that history of advancement.
Yeah, so why build a new facility? What was the impetus behind that?
Well, first of all, the community deserves it. You know, we're owned by the community. And one of our values is excellence, and we recognize the need that our community deserves the best. We're so excited about all the improvements that are going on downtown and throughout the community. We want to be a part of that, and we recognize that facilities matter. We want to make sure we have a very accessible, convenient, and high-quality facility. So that's what has prompted us to make this bold decision.
Southwest corner of Brent Lane and I-110. Why this location?
Well, it's a great question. I think first and foremost, it keeps us close to our existing location. We actually engaged the University of West Florida Haas Center. And we asked them to evaluate the growth patterns of the community, the availability of land, traffic patterns, and all of that. And they came back with many recommendations that would have caused us to think about moving even further north. If it was an economic decision, that's where we would be. But instead, we recognize this is more of a community decision. And so we looked around the general midtown area of Pensacola, even downtown, and we were able to cobble together 50 acres of land there at that intersection that we feel is going to create much more accessibility to the greater community.
Good. So tell us what's going to happen during construction.
Well, we have a lot of work to do. We're phasing this. We're now in the planning phase where we'll look at the scope and the scale. We'll enter the design phase and then construction. That would begin about a year from now. We expect completion in the summer of 2023. In the meantime, we will have nothing really change in terms of the main campus. We'll continue to make investments there and at all of our locations.
So tell us what the new facility will be like. It'll obviously be brand new, state of the art. Tell us a little more about that.
It will be. It will be state of the art, not just in bricks and mortar and layout, but also in the technology and the equipment that will fill the four walls of that hospital. But it will be similar in capacity to what we currently have now on our E Street campus. About 250 beds, about 650,000 square feet that will have a co-location of hospital and outpatient and ambulatory and medical office space.
You mentioned the E Street location.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to that facility?
Well, we're going to continue to have a major presence at the E Street campus. Our administrative services, our headquarters, as well as Lakeview Center, other clinical programs and other service offerings will remain there in that location and site. We've already engaged members of the community, and we'll continue that process to kind of give us an opportunity to reimagine what the E Street campus could mean for that neighborhood and for that zip code. So this is truly a win-win. The win in terms of a new facility and the win in terms of an opportunity to reimagine that existing campus.
And just to add another question to that, you answered the when, but the how much? That's the big question. How much will it cost? How is it going to get paid for?
Yes, so it is a major investment. $550 million right now is our estimate. That will certainly change as we refine our planning and our design and our construction. But it's a major investment without a doubt. And right now our plan is to finance it largely through a new bond issuance, and probably going forth in the next 6 months or so.
Gotcha. What about the current patients? You know, both those who seek, emergency and urgent care, but also, your long-term patients. What can they expect throughout this process?
Well, again, nothing will change right now as we enter into the design and the construction phase. If you have appointments with your existing providers, those will not change. Not just at the E Street campus, but all our locations at Gulf Breeze and 9 Mile Road, Airport, Pace, Navarre, all those will remain. Nothing really changing there. We would encourage our patients to just continue with their appointments and continue the planning and just keep track of our progress going forward.
Yeah. You must be excited, right, for the new facility. I mean, this is a huge new chapter, like you said.
It really is.
Yeah.
I've been with the organization 26 and a half years. I've been CEO about 7 years, and I'm a product of this community. I grew up in this community. And I have to tell you, it's been a hard decision for me, personally.
Yeah.
I figured I've gotten up in the morning and driven to that campus over 6,000 times in my career. and so as I recognized, and we as a team and a board and a community recognized that we needed to make a major investment. It was difficult. I have a lot of emotional attachment to that current campus, as do many patients. And many moms that delivered their babies there, many people that have spent their last days with their loved ones in our facility. So I recognize it's more than just bricks and mortar, it's a hospital, it's part of the community. And so yeah, it has been exciting, it's been challenging, it's been emotional, but we're excited about what this would mean to the community going forward.
So how can the public stay informed about the progress, about any changes to that progress? What do you recommend for them?
We are committed to keeping the entire community informed, and I would certainly suggest and recommend that everybody keep track through our web platform, ebaptisthealthcare.org, and if you're involved in social media, @BaptistHealthcare.
Awesome. Well, Mark, it's really exciting. Like you said, it's a brand new chapter for Baptist. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the organization. And we'll see what comes of it. I'm sure it'll be great.
Look forward to talking again.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Josh.
The Florida summer is long and hot, but as we'll discover next, it's also loads of fun. Stay with us.
Why do people love ACT's retirement life communities? There are more reasons than just the active lifestyle. Like ACT's Life Care, a plan that protects your nest egg with predictable monthly fees, even if your healthcare needs increase. So you can enjoy a carefree today and a worry-free tomorrow. Plan a visit and see why our satisfaction rating with current residents stands at 98%. ACT's Retirement Life Communities, where loving kindness lives.
What does it look like when a life is truly changed?
I feel a sense of accomplishment because I built a house. This house has brought us financial independence.
It's a great place to raise a family.
Strength, fuerza.
When I look back where we've come from to where we are today, it makes my heart very happy.
Potential.
Potencia.
For me, this house means all of us together.
Fuerza.
Security.
Security.
Every family dreams to have their own house. This house changed our lives.
Habitat for Humanity is at work in your community and around the world. Through shelter, we empower.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
If you haven't taken a walk downtown or a drive down to the beach recently, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Pensacola is still a sleepy coastal town. But of course, it's more vibrant than ever with dozens of fun opportunities on any given weekend. And here to discuss all of that with us is Nicole Stacy with Visit Pensacola. Nicole, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what Visit Pensacola is.
So Visit Pensacola is the destination organization for Escambia County, which encompasses Pensacola, Pensacola Beach, and Perdido Key. We support the community in growing tourism. We want people to come and visit here, but we also want to make sure that everyone that lives here is aware of all the great things we have to offer.
Definitely. Now, it's summer, which I'm sure is Pensacola's peak season. I know you know it's summer. And a lot of young people, a lot of young families, are able to take advantage of all that Pensacola has to offer. But like we were talking earlier, the heat can sort of be a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Especially for older people. So what are some fun things that elder adults can do?
Yeah, there's so much to do in Pensacola. So the nice thing is take it at your own pace. Mm-hmm. Check it out as you can. But we have some great museums here in Pensacola. We've got the Naval Aviation Museum, which if you haven't been, I swear to you, I see something new every single time.
Right.
It's a great way to go and watch the Blue Angels practicing during the week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. And then you can go into the museum. It's free. It's air conditioned and it's beautiful, so you can spend an entire day there. We also have the Historic Village in downtown Pensacola, which offers guided tours, but then also just tours at your own pace. So you can go in and out of the different cottages, just learning about history and all that Pensacola has to offer. T.T. Wentworth is there as well, which is an incredible museum that I really do learn something new every time I go in there. But just a lot of history and culture and life. Pensacola Bay Cruises is our new ferry system.
That's right.
It's air conditioned as well and accessible, so you can get on there and just really enjoy the water. Pensacola Bay is beautiful, but it connects you to Fort Pickens, to downtown, and to Pensacola Beach, which is something that if you don't want to sit in traffic, or if you maybe just don't have the means to get out on the water to enjoy, this is an opportunity to do that.
Definitely. The beach is obviously a main attraction. You mentioned that. But for a lot of people, especially those who are wheelchair bound, in the past, they may have been challenged to enjoy the beach. But I understand now there's a way that they can enjoy it.
Yes, so something so exciting and just released, but we now have Moby mats on Pensacola Beach. So if you are wheelchair bound, you can now use these mats to get all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. We watched a couple of videos that were released, and the light on people's eyes and the smile on their faces just to enjoy the Gulf for maybe the first time in their lives was something so special to us, but I know so special to them, and we're just excited to be able to offer that accessibility.
For sure. Let's go back to downtown. A lot has changed.
Yes.
So, let's say you're a senior adult living in Pace or Milton, or, maybe in Cantonment or Century. You don't come to downtown very much, and maybe you haven't been downtown in a couple years. Boy, it's a completely different experience. So tell us what's changed.
Visit us. There's so many new shops. So whether it's a boutique or a jewelry store or another art gallery or a restaurant or a brewery, there's so much going on. I promise there's new restaurants all the time, but it's just a way to really enjoy the hospitality that Pensacola has to offer. You get to meet the locals, talk to the locals, live like a local, and just enjoy some of the great cuisine. When we're out and about, we tell people we don't have a lot of chain restaurants in Pensacola, and that's a great thing because our chefs put so much love and passion into their food and their dishes, and you can see that when you're visiting the new establishments.
And I know the Sanger recently had Art Garfunkel, you have Vinyl, you have Seville, so a lot of these older music acts or even cover bands play some of those golden oldies.
Absolutely, with the theater, the Pensacola Little Theater and the Sanger and Vinyl, and then all of the festivals that we have to offer, there is always something going on in downtown Pensacola for anyone to come and enjoy.
Now, I'm not very creative, right? I don't just, wake up on a Saturday and know what to do, but I know that you are. So you wake up on a Saturday with nothing to do, assuming you decide not to just sleep in the whole day and do laundry. What's your game plan on a Saturday, either downtown or at the beach?
I love first grabbing a cup of coffee. Usually Bodacious is my go-to, which I enjoy. And then I truly do love just walking Palafox and strolling along and just seeing whether it's the Palafox Market or if there is a festival going on downtown, just getting out and enjoying it. Now, if I'm going to the beach, I do go early because you just want to avoid it at all costs and get out there to enjoy yourselves. But I'll set up behind Casino Beach Bar or at the Beach Ball Pavilion and just enjoy my day. There's so many food options, so whether it's lunch or dinner, there's always something to do. Whether you're a seafood lover or a land lover, there's an option for you. But I truly just love to get out and enjoy our community because it's something so special, and it's a community that I don't think a lot of people can say they have, and we do, and it just makes us so special.
And like you said, you don't even have to spend money. Sometimes just walking Palafox, especially during Christmas time with the lights, I mean, that's just, a gorgeous way to spend your time.
And if it's, an arts festival, those are free. You just walk on through. Or Palafox Market, get your produce, check out the local jewelry and art. It's a wonderful way to meet people, but just to enjoy your day and enjoy the community that you live in.
So how can people find out what's happening in Pensacola?
Everything you need to know, whether it's an event on our calendar or just new places that have opened up, visit Pensacola.com. If you're on social media, you can follow along at Visit Pensacola. If there's events that you want to add to our calendar of events, that's free to do. So please, we invite the community to do so. Visit Pensacola.com is where it's at.
Excellent. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on and sharing the information.
This is great.
Up next, we'll talk to an individual who has run a half marathon for the first time in his life in his 80s. Stay with us.
Since 1989, TLC Caregivers has been providing the special help people need to stay independent in their own homes. TLC is an employer of choice in the home care market. Our employees are screened with level 2 background screens, drug-free, and have caregiving experience. If you have time, enjoy people, and are interested in joining us, go to tlccaregivers.com to learn more about becoming a TLC caregiver or visit us in Cordova Square.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
When cancer tries to take you away from the things that matter most, Baptist Cancer Institute offers caring physicians and the most innovative treatment options. With convenient locations and a wide array of support programs and services, we're here to help you during the most difficult of times. As a member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, we're bringing even more innovative cancer care to our community right here at home. When you need cancer care, we'll be there.
When it comes to running, they say that first step off the couch is the hardest. Well, our next guest may beg to differ, as he recently completed a half marathon at age 83, no less. This feat of fitness couldn't have happened without his trainer and the support of his family. So let's talk to him now. Welcome George Goggins and trainer Mary Jo Laux. Thank you both for coming on today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
George, I'd like to start with you. Tell us about your fitness experience before this run.
Well, let me go well back.
Sure.
Okay. When I was about 15 years old, I started smoking. And that was part of the culture of the day. You know, everybody smoked. It was part of coming of age. And nicotine is extremely addictive. If you ever get it in your bloodstream, you know, you're a goner.
Right.
So when I reached 50, on my 50th birthday, I decided to stop the cigarettes.
Good.
But then I didn't know what a battle I was in for. But you know, I remembered the words of Mark Twain, who said quitting smoking was easy. He had done it a bunch of times. But anyway, I was able to finally overcome the cravings.
Yeah.
And then I started on my own, just a informal running. You know, I'd run maybe at the beginning, I'd maybe run a quarter of a mile and then a half a mile, and then when I got up to a mile, you know, that was really an accomplishment because I was out of breath, you know. So, as I said, the smoking part was part of the culture. You know, smoking was even on planes, in doctors' offices. They had ashtrays around, and so I was finally able to kick it. And then I started on this, as I said, this routine of just informal. Whenever I felt like it, you know, I'd run a while. And so I finally got into it, and where I could run 2 miles or 3 miles. And I remember on my 70th birthday, I ran 5 miles just to throw it in the face of old age.
There you go.
And say, you know, here I am.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how I got started. But then I was doing that when we moved into Azalea Trace about 1.5 years ago. And people say when they move into Azalea Trace, you know, you're fed so well that they gain 10 or 12 pounds, you know, whenever.
The food out there is really good, to be fair.
But right now I weigh about 10 or 12 pounds less than I weighed, you know, when I entered 1.5 years ago. And that's, I'm thankful for my trainer for a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, because she's pretty insistent on what she
Lots
does.
of trainers are supposed to do, right?
Yeah, right.
So what inspired you to work toward this particular goal? Which, you know, 3 miles, 5 miles, that's one thing. A half marathon, that's a whole nother.
Yeah. Well, my first mistake was I mentioned it to Mary Jo about, I wonder if I could do a half marathon.
Yeah.
And she said, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, she put a program together, you know, about how to train for that, you know, because you just don't go out and run 13.2 miles, and you never want to forget about the 0.2 because that's the 0.2
it's the hardest point too.
Hardest part. Yeah. But anyway, I was into this program, and you know, it would to start off, I'd run, you know, maybe 2 or 3 miles, you know, and then we'd have some recovery time, you know, in between, and then I would walk and then run maybe 4 miles the next time, you know, the next week or whatever. And this was done in intervals, so that it took about, I guess, 11 or 12 weeks, you know, before the race for me to get into it. And as luck would have it, I came down with some kind of a flu bug or a fever or something a week or two before the race.
Yeah.
So I only got to a maximum of 10 miles. And I should have, you know, I think really the cutoff is 12 miles because they figure if you can do 12 miles, you can do 13.
Right.
So, but anyway, I cut off the training, but when the day of the race came, you know, we figured that 10 miles would be enough, and I had recovered, you know, so we went ahead with the race.
Okay. And I'll ask you about the day of the race in just a minute because I'm very interested in that. But Mary Jo, I'm curious, I imagine a lot of older people are hesitant to be in any sort of fitness regimen, especially one of this caliber. What advice do you have out there for the elders who are on the couch, who want to do something, they just can't seem to, you know, take that step?
Sure, yeah. Well, definitely. So the first thing I would say, and I say it a lot, listen to your body. Your body will tell you what you can and can't do. You know, if you have a knee issue, a hip issue, or something like that, you know what you're going to be able to do. The second thing is do something you enjoy. Walking with a dog, a neighbor's dog, or swimming, or whatever is enjoyable for you, because then you'll do it for a longer period of time. And the third thing is make a plan, schedule it, put it in just like you would for breakfast. You plan your breakfast or your lunch or your dinner or brushing your teeth. Just make it part of your day, and then you'll do it for long, because it's a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
So you want to do it for the rest of your life.
Right. It's a lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
It's not just a temporary thing. So George, tell us about the day of the race. That must have been nerve-wracking for you.
It really was nerve-wracking because I slept maybe 4 hours the night before because I was anticipating what was going to happen. And so I was tired getting up and getting to the race, and then, but once I got there, you know, the adrenaline kicks in, you know, and you can move. But then we started on the race, and my wife was waiting for me at the finish line, and she was nervous about how I was going to do. And Mary Jo would send her a picture of me at every mile marker.
Yeah.
And I tell people I could have run that marathon a lot faster if I hadn't had to stop every mile
That's half your time.
for a picture taking session, you know. But at least that was necessary for my wife, or she felt, you know, that she was comforted by getting those pictures every mile marker that I was doing fine, and so that was one. And then the sports drink that she had me drinking, you know, everything. And I hate sports drink, especially lime flavored sports drinks. But she insisted on those sports drinks, and I tease her about it today that you know, I'm still affected by. I hate lime flavor. But then, you know, finally, you know, I have some lower back issues, you know, some arthritis in my back, and along the last 3 or 4 miles, it really started to act up and talk to me, and so we did alternate running and walking, you know, and finally we got the finish line, and I was fine, and I cleared with my rheumatologist. He said, you know, that I could do this, you know. So anyway, at the end of the race, I just felt elation, and I have a medal here to prove that I did it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So it was quite a day.
Definitely. I mean, it's an inspiring story. A half marathon is hard enough to begin with for anybody, and the fact that you did that at 83 is really inspiring. And Mary Jo, your contribution to the efforts is certainly important. Thank you both so much for coming on today. I appreciate you both.
It's nice to be here. Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, enjoy life. You've earned it.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, Dad. We're getting so wet.